Whales. Whales might live in the oceans and might even look like very large fish, but they are mammals. Like most other mammals, whales give birth to live young and breathe with their lungs. Whales belong to a group of animals called marine mammals. They are among the largest animals on the planet. Why do whales have holes on their heads? Whales do not have gills like fish. Instead, they take in air through nostrils like all the other mammals. The nostrils of whales, called blowholes, are located on top of their heads. Every once in a while, whales come to the surface of the water and open their blowholes to breathe. There she blows. Whale hunters and whale watchers spot whales by the fountain of water coming out of their blowholes. Is that a fountain of water coming out of the blowhole? The whale opens its blowhole to breathe out stale air. When this air comes in contact with the colder air outside, the water vapor in the atmosphere condenses. This looks like a fountain or spout. Killer whale. The killer whale, or orca, is the most common member of the whale family of marine mammals that includes whales and dolphins. They can be found in all the oceans of the world. They are highly social animals and travel in stable groups, led by the oldest female member of the group. The baleen comb. A humpback whale and its comb of baleen set. There was a time when baleen was used in women's clothing, and many whales are hunted for it. Are whales vegetarian? Whales are divided into two main groups: toothed whales who hunt for prey, and baleen whales who feed on krill, plankton, and other tiny marine creatures in the water. Toothed whales, including killer whales, sperm whales, and beluga whales, have small, sharp teeth in their jaws. These teeth are used to kill prey. Baleen whales, including gray whales, humpback whales, blowhead whales, and blue whales, are toothless. Instead, they have sieve-like structures called baleen that hang from their upper jaws. The whales swim with their mouths open, taking in lots of water rich in tiny mammals such as krill and plankton. The prey gets trapped in the comb-like edges of the baleen plates, and the whale licks the food off the plate. Do whales like to play? Although they are very big, whales can be playful. Sometimes they pop their heads above the surface and float motionless. This behavior is known as logging. Some whales, like humpback whales and orcas, leap right out of the water, which is known as breaching. Whales also will stick their tails out and splash them around. This is called lobe-tailing. The giant. Only a small part of this blue whale is seen above the surface of the ocean. Unlike other baleen whales, blue whales do not live in large groups. These huge animals need a lot of space in which they can get enough food to support themselves. In autumn, which is the mating season, they can sometimes be seen in pairs. Female blue whales give birth once every 2 or 3 years. Long way home. Every year in the California gray whales migrate for about 28,000 kilometers. It's 12,427 miles. They migrate all the way from the Arctic Ocean to the Mexican coast and back. This is the longest migration undertaken by any mammal. In total, the California gray whale spends about 1/3 of its life migrating. What is blubber? Blubber is a layer of fat found between the skin and flesh of all whales. It preserves body heat and stores energy, as well as keeping whales afloat. Do whales live as a family? Most whales are social creatures. They travel and feed in groups called pods. Many of them migrate long distances in groups between their feeding and breeding grounds. What do whales use their tails for? The tail of a whale is divided into 2 parts called flukes. While fish move their tails sideways to swim, whales swim by moving their flukes up and down in the water. Which is the largest whale in the world? Blue whales are not only the largest whales, but also the largest animals ever to live on Earth. They can be as long as 34 meters, 112 feet. They are also the loudest animals on Earth, 1.5 times as loud as a pneumatic drill. But they use such a low frequency that we cannot hear them.